1 year ago, Russia began its onslaught against Ukraine.
I woke up like 3 a.m. in the morning from some anxiety, and I heard explosions on the right of me, so I understood that the war has started.
How have art and culture survived?
I actually didn't believe that the invasion will happen, because I just couldn't grasp the idea that it will actually happen in real life.
Arts Unveiled meets 3 cultural idols and asks how the war has changed them.
Every happening, like Bucha, it's take piece of you.
Artists like Svjatoslav Vakartschuk have been doing their best to keep going and not give up. They won't allow culture to become another victim of the war, not least because it's so key to the identity and cohesion of their country. But how does art survive war? How can it serve as resistance? It's a grey winter's day in Kyiv. We're meeting Alyona. Ukraine's best-known rapper and a style icon. She raps about everyday life and speaks for a whole generation. The New York Times named her one of the 15 most important Europop acts. She recalls the first moments of the war.
I was scared because I didn't know what I have to do. Nobody teach me what I have to do when war come in my country. So it was emptiness and scary.
Alyona's lyrics are direct but never aggressive. Her message is a progressive one. Today, she's recording at the television studio of a Ukrainian broadcaster. Alyona commutes between Kyiv, Poland, and wherever her career takes her. She's used to crossing borders.
Моє звернення, Боже, до Тебе. Ти над нами все чуєш і бачиш, як вогнем вкрилось мирне небо, як в підвалі дитя тихо плаче. Всемогутній наш Господи, добрий.
However much she sometimes despairs of the current situation, she carries on. She won't give up hope. The track Molitva is a plea to the world to pray for Ukraine. The war has changed her perspective. She's become more Western-leaning, and even though she performs in Ukrainian, Europe is listening.
Now I feel that we have to do more and more and more. I'm happy that in all festivals, in all European stages, I see more of Ukrainian artists. Art always help to have connection with other countries, to understand us, to know something new about us, and see that we are creative.
She uses music and social media to fight Putin and Russian aggression. All her songs have a political message, and her clear position resonates with audiences, particularly with women. Where does she see herself and her country a year from now?
I write new songs. Maybe it will be some collaboration because we have invitation, you know, from other artists from other countries, and it's a big honor to me. If we talk about Ukraine, I know that we will win this war this year, and I know that Ukraine will be part of European countries.
Alyona is optimistic because she says she has no option. To her, music is a means of survival and a tool of protest. Amid the devastation of war, walls have become a canvas for expressions of resistance. Even the world-famous graffiti artist Banksy has left his mark here. Girls dance around shell holes, children seesaw on tank traps, but Banksy is just one of many. Murals and graffiti are a way of demonstrating against the Russian invasion. And as the last year went by, street art began popping up everywhere for all to see. These civilian protests are changing the face of war-torn Ukrainian cities. A whole generation is at the front. Others are going into exile, to stay or to go. It's a decision that many artists struggle with. Art can often only survive abroad. From Kyiv, we head to Berlin to meet a popular multimedia artist from Ukraine. Diana Azzuz chose to flee.
On the first day of the war, I didn't want to go anywhere, and I think I was also in denial, and I just didn't feel like I could go somewhere else, and didn't see myself in Berlin, for example. But because it wasn't stopping and it was just like escalating all the time, we went to through Hungary to finally to Berlin. Yeah. Obviously, that's a very dark year for all of us, and I could say that in my life that's one of the darkest. It's a feeling of loss, feeling of anxiety, of disturbance.
Diana Azzuz is a multidisciplinary artist who mixes film, music, and performance. In 2021, Azzuz co-founded the label Standard Deviation. Before the war, Kyiv was a hotspot of the European club scene. Azzuz DJ'd around the city, including at the legendary Club 41. What expectations are faced by artists in exile like Diana Azzuz? How does the experience of war impact creativity? Experiences like hers are the focus of an electronic music festival in Berlin.
This kind of thing that other people can kind of perceive are poets, musicians, lawyers.
From a Ukrainian-Syrian family, Azzuz grew up in both countries. 2 homelands, 2 wars, and now emigration. How can she still be creative?
You can't be anxious all the time. There was, of course, a period of time, especially the first half of these 12 months, where I felt I was unable to do anything, but then, there's also a sense of sort of community, because this brought Ukrainians together, and I realized how strong Ukraine is, because that also gives you the strength to move on and work.
At the festival in Berlin, Diana Azzuz showed her first video work from exile. It was created with the help of artificial intelligence. The music is by Nazanin Nouri. It's a hypnotic sound collage, as dark and threatening as Azzuz's world of images.
The future isn't bright, but there is the hope. It's the last thing that dies, I guess. So we're still. I think if we were completely pessimistic, we wouldn't be able to continue to move on and have this perspective that things can change.
Back to Kyiv, we've got an appointment with a Ukrainian legend, a national hero, Svjatoslav Vakartschuk. His song Obime has become a kind of national anthem. On the 50th day after the Russian invasion, he performed the song amidst rubble at the Biennale in Venice. Every kid in Ukraine knows the tune. His perspective has also changed in recent months.
it's a mixture of awe and proudness of Ukrainian bravery and heroism of our Ukrainian soldiers there, brothers and sisters, and also certainly experiencing this nightmare that you see around the devastations, the killings, the wounded people in hospitals, all these signs of the war.
Бій на світанні, сонце й дим. Мало хто знає, що ж буде з ним.
In any problematic situation, I turn to music. Actually, this year, I mean, this is the year of music for me. Although how unusual it sounds for people, but I do a lot of music. We did 175 performances in the front line. We did probably 50 or 60 concerts in Europe and other countries already, and more to come.
Vakarchuk often goes to the front. He sees and experiences the war firsthand. There's been talk of a political career for him, following in the footsteps of his father, who served as a minister of education. An impromptu performance on the streets of Kyiv. In the face of all the horror and destruction, has he ever thought of giving up music?
I never lose my faith in music. Music is my airplane. Actually, fighting here is something that we do not only for Ukraine. I think we do it for the sake of the future of the whole free world, Western world, the whole world in general.
Last year, at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, he gave a deeply moving performance in front of an audience of tens of thousands. What's happening in Ukraine shows that even in war, art plays an invaluable role. It doesn't just survive, it thrives.
Твоя весна